cultural backgrounds who are making significant contributions of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Welcome, I'm Maria, and welcome to your yoga practice today. I'm at the lovely Embody Yoga and Wellness on 10 Forbes Street in the West End of St. John's, and I'm so happy to have you here for practice. Our practice today is a feel-good flow with movement for the shoulders and the hips. So we'll find ourselves in a comfortable seated position to start, and you might like to have a pillow or a blanket to sit on, and you might like to have a blanket for the knees for throughout the practice and maybe a couple of yoga blocks as well. Take your time getting settled in and find yourself in your most comfortable position here. We can close down the eyes or soften the gaze towards the top part of the mat. With your next breath in, breathe a sense of length and space into your spine. And with your exhale out, let your shoulders soften down the back. And take these next few moments to notice how the breath is flowing, how the body is feeling. And as we move through our practice together today, I invite you to make a commitment to move with a sense of kindness and compassion and self-love today. And then when you're ready to breathe in again, let's sweep the arms out to the side. And we'll take a full, nourishing breath in as we reach the arms up and overhead. And then with your exhale out, bring your palms together and slowly let the hands come down to heart center. Taking that again, full breath in. Arms reaching out and then up and overhead. And with your exhale out, hands slowly coming back down to the heart. Taking one more round, full nourishing breath in here, reaching high to the sky. And this time with your exhale out, maybe a soft, soothing sigh out. And if the eyes were closed, start to open up the eyes, allow the eyes to adjust to the light. And then with your next breath in, we'll sweep the arms up towards the sky again. And this time with our exhale out, we'll twist over to the right. Landing your top hand onto your top knee, taking the back hand behind you onto the floor, maybe onto a block. As you breathe in, lengthen through the spine from your tailbone up to the crown of the head. And then with your breath out, softening into the twist. With the next breath in, we'll come back to center. We'll sweep the arms up towards the sky again. And then with your exhale out, twisting over to the left. Take your time here, root down. Find that sense of space and length through your spine with the inhale. And then with the exhale out, settling into the twist. And then with the next breath in, we'll come back to center. We'll reach the arms up towards the sky again. And this time on your exhale, bring your arms into cactus or goddess arms here. With the breath in, we'll gently squeeze the shoulder blades together, lifting up through the chest, maybe gazing a little higher to the sky. And then on your exhale out, a couple of different options here. You can reach the arms forward as you round through the back, or maybe you slide those hands around and you give yourself a hug in. And then we'll take a breath in, open the arms up, gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades together. And then with your exhale out, palms together, hands sliding around, wrapping to the shoulder blades. One more of those, breath in. And exhale out. Next breath in, come back to your neutral spine, bring your hands down to your knees. And then from here, we'll move into hands and knees. So as you shift to hands and knees, always that option to take a blanket underneath the knees if you'd like some extra cushioning. Bring your knees underneath your hips and we'll tuck the toes here, hands landing underneath the shoulders as well. Hug your upper arm bones into your shoulder joint. And with that sense of strength at the shoulders, walk your hands forward a little wider than shoulder width apart. And then bring your forehead down to the mat as the hips anchor over the knees here for a heart melting pose. Palms are pressing down, shoulders are wrapping in, and we're lengthening through the spine. And if this in any way doesn't feel good for the head, the neck, or the shoulders, untuck your toes, bring your hips back towards your heels, and find yourself in an extended child's pose with arms long in front of the body. Let's take a slow and full breath in. Slow, complete breath out. And then with your next breath in, press into the hands, start to lift your forehead and walk your hands back so that they land underneath the shoulders once again. Tuning into your sense of strength around the shoulders, wrapping upper arm bones in, hugging into your core and distributing the weight here in your hands to the tips of the finger, base of the knuckle, base of the palm. And maybe for the next few breaths, you stay here, you stay in your hands and knees. Or with your next breath, you gently push the earth away and you send the hips up towards the sky, moving into a downward facing dog. As we come to our downward dog, let's take some movement today, starting to pedal the feet and bend the knees. Maybe we shift the hips from side to side a little, see how that feels for the body. Moving through the spine and the shoulders, and then letting all that movement finish with a gentle nod of the head yes and no. And as we settle into our downward facing dog, finding a sense of length from hands to shoulders, shoulders up to the hip bones as we send the hips up towards the sky. And then a sense of strength across your shoulders as you hug the upper arm bones in, strong at your core and firming up the legs as well. Let's take one full breath in and complete breath out. With your next inhale, look to the top of the mat, bend the knees, and then on your exhale, start to walk your feet up to meet your hands, and we'll meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Feet land here, hip distance apart or maybe a little wider. Soft bend in the knees, head, arms, shoulders, softening towards the mat. And then with your next breath in, slide your hands onto your shins. Equal the weight out through the four corners of your feet, lengthen through your spine, send the crown of the head forward. And then with your exhale, come back to your soft forward fold. Next breath in, we'll sweep the arms out to the side, lift through the chest, lift through the crown of the head, reach the hands high. And with your exhale here, hands journey to the heart. Taking a breath in and breath out. Hands shift by the side as we settle in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel the four corners of your feet pressing against your mat, base of big toe, base of pinky, both edges of your heel. Strong through your legs here with a gentle micro bend into the knees. Connected to your core with a lift of the low belly in and up, tall and spacious through the spine. Starting here with the sun breath, breath in, sweep the arms out to the side, reach the hands up and overhead. And then with your exhale out, connect your palms together, take a soft bend in the knees, sweeping fingertips towards the earth. As you breathe in, hands to shins or hands to thighs, lengthen legs, lengthen spine. And then with your exhale, come back to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Next breath in, press down to the feet, reach the arms out wide, sweep the hands high to the sky. And with your exhale, hands come back to the heart. And then we'll start to add on to that. Breath in, arms sweep out wide. And breath out, forward fold. Breathing in, hands to shins or hands to thighs, lengthen your spine. And with your exhale out, hands to mat or hands to your blocks here. We'll take our right foot, step the right foot to the back of the mat and then lower your right knee down. So you might like to slide your blanket underneath your knee here or roll up your mat. Front knee anchored over your front ankle and take your journey up into your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hands to thigh, hands to heart, or maybe arms sweep up and overhead here. Firmly pressing the front foot into the mat, hugging the legs together from right to left. And then lengthening here from your tailbone up to the crown of the head, hugging into your core as well. We'll take a breath in here as we reach a little taller. And then with your exhale out, sweep hands down to the low back, and there's a couple of different options as the hands arrive here. Maybe you interlace the fingers as you roll the shoulders back, or you can hold on to the forearms as well. Wherever you've landed, take a breath in, lengthen through the spine. And then with your breath out, soften into the shoulders. Next, inhale here, we'll sweep the arms up towards the sky again, or hands to thigh or hands to heart. And then with your exhale out, take your hands down to frame your front knee and your front foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and then step back, hands and knees, or into your downward facing dog here. Take a full, steady breath in to lengthen. And a complete breath out. Next, inhale, look to the top of your mat, soft bend in your knees. And then on your exhale, step or walk, feet up to meet the hands, forward fold. Breathing in, hands to shins, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Next breath in, sweep the arms out to the side, reach the hands high to the sky. And with your exhale, hands come back to the heart. So let's take that to the other side. Breathing in, sweeping arms. Exhale out, forward fold. Breath in, hands to legs. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat or hands onto your blocks here. Slide your left foot behind you, lower your left knee down, find some padding for the knee. Front knee anchored over the front ankle, your journey up, hands to thigh, hands to heart, or arms sweep up and overhead. Softening tops of the shoulders down the back as we firmly press into the front foot as we hug the legs together towards the midline from right to left. And as we draw the low belly in and up. Breath in here, reach a little taller. And then with your exhale out, sweep hands down to the low back. And if you interlace the hands, maybe the other thumb comes in front this time, or you hold on to the forearms. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the spine. And then with your exhale out, softening into the shoulders. Next inhale, we'll release the hands, sweep the hands high to the sky, or hands to heart or hands to thigh. And then on your exhale, hands come down, frame the front foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, step back, hands and knees, or downward facing dog. Your choice here, wherever you land, full breath in. And full breath out. Next, inhale, look to the top of your mat, soft bend in the knees, step or walk, feet up to meet the hands, forward fold. Take an inhale, hands to shins or hands to thighs, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Breath in, sweep the arms out wide, reach the hands high to the sky. And with your exhale here, hands journey to the heart. And as we settle in our mountain pose here, let's revisit a nourishing breath in and a releasing breath out. Next breath in, arms sweep up and overhead, and we'll pause with the arms high. We'll take the right hand onto the right thigh, and with your next inhale, reach the left hand a little higher. And then with the exhale out, taking a side bend here to the right side of your mat. Strong at your core, equal weight into both feet here, and a sense of space through the spine. On your next inhale, float both arms up towards the sky, and on your exhale, left hand comes down, right arm sweeps up and overhead to the left side of your mat. And then with your next breath in, both arms reach high. On your exhale, hands through heart center, soften knees, fingertips towards the mat. Breathing in, half lift, lengthen, hands to shins or hands to thighs. And with your exhale here, hands to the mat. We'll pick up our right foot, step your right foot to the back of the mat, land it so it's hip distance apart from the left foot. Take a soft bend into both knees here, and then take your journey up, hands to thigh, hands to heart, or sweeping the arms up and overhead, coming into our high crescent lunge. Front knee anchored over your front ankle here, back leg long and strong, or if it feels better for the body, soft bend into the knee. Hug your hips in towards your midline, draw the low belly in and up. Anchor low ribs towards the hip points here and lengthen through your spine. And then we'll pause here. We'll take a breath and reach the fingertips a little higher. And then with your exhale out, bring your arms into your cactus or your goddess arms again. So we'll revisit that hug here. Let's take a breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then with your exhale out, round forward. Perhaps you bring the palms together, maybe you slide the hands around to give yourself a hug in. And then we'll take that again. Breath in, expanding here across the heart. And then with your exhale, hug into your center. One more round. Breath in, staying steady in the low body. And then with your exhale out, palms together or wrapping hands around to give yourself a hug in. Next, inhale here, sweep the arms up towards the sky, reaching tall. And then with your exhale out, take hands down to the mat. Bring your hands on the inside of your front foot, walk your left foot a little closer to the left side of your mat, and then softly lower your right knee down. Perhaps you find some padding for the knee here, rolling your mat or tucking a blanket underneath. Hands landing underneath the shoulders, front knee anchored over the front ankle as we settle here for 3 rounds of our breath in our lizard pose. Finding a steady and slow breath in. A steady and slow breath out. And let's take one more inhale here. Perhaps a soft sigh out. And then start to shift your left foot back to center. Take the hands down to frame your front foot, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and then let's shorten up our lunge a little here. Walk your back foot a little closer to the top of the mat, and then rise up with hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your left foot, press down into the base of the big toe, pinky both edges of the heel. Start to shift the chest forward, and then when you're ready, pick the right leg off the earth, coming into your version of our warrior 3. So maybe here you play with toes onto the mat, or maybe you lift the foot a little higher, pressing out through the heel, lengthening through the spine, and hugging into your center. Let's take a breath in wherever we are, equal across the low back and the hips. And then with your next breath in, bend your right knee, lift the right knee forward. And then with your exhale out, take the right foot down to the mat and then give yourself a little shake out here from head to toe. Settle back into your mountain pose. Take a full breath in and full breath out. Next, inhale, arms sweep out to the side, reach the hands up and overhead. This time with your exhale out, left hand to left thigh, right arm reaches a little higher, and then with the exhale, we move into a side bend to the left side of our mat. Pressing equally into both feet, strong at your center, tall in the spine. And then on the inhale, both arms float up. With the exhale, right hand to right thigh, left arm reaching up and overhead. Breathing in, arms reaching up. Breath out, hands through heart center, soften knees, fingertips towards the earth. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen, hands to legs. And with your exhale, forward fold. Slide your left foot to the back of the mat, land your feet about hip distance apart, soft bend into both knees to start your journey up. Hands to thigh, hands to heart, or arms reaching up and overhead. Find your sense of steadiness here in the low body. Hug the legs together, front knee anchored over the front ankle. Arms reaching up and overhead. Take a breath in here, reaching a little taller. And then with your exhale out, open into cactus or goddess arms. Breathing in, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you lift through the heart. And then with that exhale out, rounding forward here, create some space between the shoulder blades, palms together, or hands slide around to give yourself a hug in. Steady in the low body, movement in the upper body, breath in, lifting the heart. And then exhale out, curling towards the center, tucking the chin a little closer to the heart. One more round, breath in. And breath out. Next, inhale, sweep the arms high to the sky once again. And then on your exhale, slowly take the hands down to the mat, starting here by framing the front foot with the hands. And then walk your right foot a little closer to the outside edge of your mat. Lower your left knee down. Hands landing underneath the shoulders, front knee anchored over front ankle. Take a breath in. And then with your exhale out, soften into the space, into our lizard pose. We'll take 2 more rounds of our breath. And now let's start to walk the front foot back to center. Hands frame the foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and then start to walk your back foot in a little bit here, shortening up the high lunge. Take an inhale, hands come to heart. Start to shift your awareness into your right leg, strong around the knee, hug the hip in. When you're ready, press off your back foot and start to find your balance here. And maybe toes play by landing onto the earth and you find a little lift. Or you start to lift the leg a little more and you press out through the heel. And you build a sense of length and space through the spine and across the shoulders. Evenness here across the hips and the low back. Take an inhale. And then with your exhale, float your knee up. And then on the exhale out, take the left foot down to the mat. Give yourself a little shake out here as you settle in your mountain pose. Let's take a full breath in. And full breath out. On your next inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reach the hands up and overhead. With your exhale out, palms come through heart center, soft bend in the knees, fingertips towards the earth. Breathing in, hands to shins or hands to thighs, lift and lengthen. And then with your exhale out, bring hands down to the mat. Your journey here back to hands and knees or coming back to your downward facing dog. Wherever you've decided to land, take a full, spacious breath in. And then with your exhale out, slowly lower knees down to the mat. Knees landing together or knees shifting apart. Softening hips back towards the heels into your child's pose. Stacking hands underneath the forehead or maybe a block underneath the forehead. Taking one slow round of your breath here in Balasana. Next inhale, we'll take a rise up, come up into hands and knees. We'll sweep the feet off to the side. And we'll make our way onto the back body here. Shift your seat to the middle part of your mat, roll to the side, or maybe hug the hands underneath the thighs here. Take a slow journey down, take care with the back as you make your way to the earth. Walk your feet a little closer into the seat. And then if you'd like, pick up the knees, wrap hands around the shins or behind the thighs, and find some gentle movement here. And that might be a sway from side to side or a circling of the knees in one direction and then in the other direction. And then come back to center, let your left foot come down to the mat, cross your right leg over left, flexing your right foot, reclining pigeon. Left foot can stay on the mat here. You can tuck a block or a blanket underneath the left foot, or you can hug the knees in close to the chest and using the hands or a strap, or wrap the hands or your strap around the back of the left leg. Left knee hovering over the left hip, flexing your feet, finding a slow and soothing breath. Taking one more inhale. And maybe a releasing sigh out. Release the hands, let the left foot come down to the mat, uncross the legs, and then we'll take that to the other side. Left leg crossing over right, foot onto the mat, right foot, maybe a couple blocks underneath the foot, or you hug the knees in close to the chest. Wrapping hands or a strap around the back of the right thigh. Flexing both feet here. right knee anchored over right hip. Softening through the low back, the shoulders, the neck, and the back of the head. Full breath in. Soft breath out. Let's release the hands here behind the back of the thigh. Let the foot come down to the mat. Uncross your legs. Bring the hands down by the side. Press into the earth. Lift up your hips a little and shift them towards the left side of your mat, about an inch or two. And then let your knees fall over to the right. Stacking knees, stacking hips. Open the arms out to a T shape into your reclining spinal twist. It might feel nice here to take a blanket or a block underneath the knees or between the knees to support the low body. One more breath here. And then with the next inhale, come back to center, slide the hands down by the side, press into the hands, into the feet, shift the hips a little closer to the right side of your mat, and then let the knees fall over to the left. Open arms up to the T shape, shoulders softening down. And tuning in to your soothing breath. Taking a full breath in. And soft breath out. Next, inhale, come on back to center. Bring your feet back to the mat. Shift your hips back to the middle of your mat. And the option here to hug the hands around the shins or behind the knees. Give yourself a gentle squeeze in. And then with your exhale out, bring feet down to the mat. Perhaps you bring the legs long, arms by the side, settling into a really comfortable Shavasana for yourself today. Finding as much time as you'd like in rest and stillness here. And I'd like to thank you for coming along to practice today. Namaste.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hey everyone, it is Jason Piercy, host of Out of the Fog on Tuesday nights at 7:30. You're definitely going to want to watch because you never know what I'm going to get into. It's all about community. It's all about you. So watch Tuesday, 7:30.
It isn't the heavy trays that make the job difficult, or the fast pace you need to keep up. It's not working another double because someone called in sick. What makes the job tough is the moment you realize a customer has had enough and you have to make that decision not to overserve. Refusing service isn't personal, it's the law. We know it's not easy, but we're counting on you to keep us all safe. Thank you, servers, for doing the tough job.